Hello, hello. Welcome, Jace. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another reaction stream. It is Friday, so this is the new day, new time for the stream. It's pretty amazing. Kind of bookend the week with Mondays and Fridays now. It is what it is. We're going to have to get used to it. It just kind of goes by how work schedules are and all that good stuff. TGIF indeed. Although I think for you, Jace, it's Saturday, right? just now is Saturday. Got 5 amazing videos for today. I apologize if my energy level's a little low. I don't know what's going on. I have some sort of illness that is unidentified. I woke up. Let's see. I woke up Thursday. No, I woke up Wednesday. Just very fatigued, like whole body fatigue. And I was just like, what's going on right now? Like I didn't feel anything else other than maybe like a little sore throat and full body fatigue. And I went to work. Halfway through the day, I had lunch. And, oh, chat is not on the screen. Let me fix that real quick. But, yeah, very, all right, this should do it. There we go. All right. So yeah, I had lunch on Thursday or Friday or no, Wednesday. Wow, my brain is not working. I'm not having an energy drink just because I don't think I should with the amount of medication I'm on right now. But yeah, Wednesday was very weird. It was whole body fatigue, and it just got worse throughout the day. I was like, what is going on here? Like this isn't. I don't know what this is. So I made the decision to go to a clinic, get a COVID test, which I had never had one of those before. The last time I heard about them was probably the first time they were ever introduced, where they were going like deep into the nasal passages. And this one was very quick and easy. Like it didn't go far in or whatever. And I was just surprised because apparently I just don't pay attention to these things. But I went to get that done because I was like, it tests for, the pandemic, words that I can't say on YouTube, although I guess I already did, so whatever. But tests for that as well as just influenza A and B, the common strands or whatever. So I was like, all right, if it's not the first thing, it could be the second things and I'll know what it is. Well, all 3 of them came back negative. So I woke up the next day and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just taking medications blindly just to kind of take care of some of the symptoms that have showed up. And I don't know, it's been very interesting. It's not a lot of different symptoms. Like I know I'm sick because my lymph node is like visibly swollen and tender to the touch, which is a dead giveaway that you're dealing with something, right? But I haven't really had the fatigue a lot since. Like it's very odd. It just sounds it's yucky and it is what it is. Excuse me. I don't have a cough. That was just me choking on myself because I am just all put together. But yeah, it's weird. I don't have any other symptoms other than, that kind of general fatigue and swollen lymph node, a random sore throat. Like it was there for 2 days and now it's gone. Like what is happening? So I don't know what's happening. That's been basically my world. I didn't go to work. I just worked from home the past 2 days because I don't want to get other people sick, even though I don't even know what I have. So it's just one of those things. And, the idea was floated by that maybe I tested for it too early into the symptoms. Like maybe I have it now and I could test positive. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think maybe I'll just go get one of those at-home tests or whatever and give it another shot, but not sure. So it is what it is. We're pushing through. I don't have the sore throat now, so I feel great. So let's go ahead and do the stream. What's going on? What is going on? Well, I hope you sleep well. Past couple nights I've been having NyQuil, not a sponsor. Fantastic. Highly recommend it. It just puts you out so nice. I was looking at the bottle. It's like 10% alcohol. I'm like, so that's what it is. That's what it is. You take a little shot before bed, and it just kind of puts you, puts you in that good space. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful week. Hopefully better than mine. Got amazing videos today. We're starting off with One Tree Hill. We're going to Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which I've never heard of. I have no idea what that's going to be like. Ted Lasso. It's going to be a bigger, little bit longer video. So strap in for that. HunterxHunter as well. And then we round out today with a interview with the vampire video. I kind of changed the order. You might notice Jace just cause. I figure, you know what, let's just end with the bang and, go from there. But yeah, if you would like to request your own videos on stream, you can do so. ToddReacts.com. Season and series tiers are the requesting tiers, and you can go ahead and join those. While you're there, check out the summer collection of merch available right now. Limited time only. We'll be switching over to the fall and winter collection here as the weather cools off a little bit, which I don't know if it's cooling off anytime soon here, but we just literally had our hottest day of the year. 115 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I think, off the top of my dome from memory, was 46.1 degrees Celsius. So pretty warm. So I'm glad the summer collection's still available. I'm currently wearing it. Go ahead and check it out. Ships worldwide. Members of the website save 15% on every order automatically. You don't have to put in any code or anything. Accessories as well. You might notice this one. This is the insulated tumbler. I have it on pretty much every stream. Drink out of it constantly. The water bottle I actually take to work. I don't have it on me. It's in my book bag, which is in the closet. But yeah, I use it literally every day at work, and it's fantastic. I love the fact that it's no spill. The little nozzle tilts back, kind of clamps off the straw so you don't have any spillage. Very handy. And I clip it to my bag with this little, I don't know what you would call that, little hook kind of area here. Awesome. Absolutely love it. Just goes to show I basically test these products. You can check down here through the rest of the items. I keep the travel mug at work for coffee. Works beautifully for that. Does have a locking lid, so you don't, you could travel with it. You can make it at home, travel with it. It's not going to spill. But yeah, check those out as well. I've seen the Ted Lasso one before. When I was requesting Ted, I remember being good. Well, that's good news. Hottest day here was last week at 33 here, 34 for my parents. You're 10 degrees more. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh gosh. Ay. It was so hot. It was unbelievably hot. I just remember walking to the car just feeling like I was just melting. I could feel like the soles of my shoes just bubbling. Not really, but it was basically that. Go ahead and check out the YouTube channel, Todd Reacts. If you're just watching on Twitch and you have no idea what that is, go ahead and check it out. That's where over 1,000 reaction videos live. That is where I got my start. That is where every single stream ends up. It's just, you know what? I like the live feature of Twitch. I think it's fantastic. I think it's way better than YouTube. That being said, like VODs or full-length videos are way better on YouTube. Get timestamps and all that good stuff. It's amazing. Key Moments is a great feature. I love it. So if you want to check out the long form of all the streams and videos before that, over 1,000 of them, go ahead and check out the YouTube. We have just over 12,600 subscribers. Awesome stuff. I am very proud of that channel. Go ahead and check out the Todd Reacts Plays channel as well. Whenever there's gaming content and that returns, it'll be there, as well as on the Twitch channel. So if you like Twitch for gaming, stay here. If you enjoy Twitch, if you enjoy YouTube for gaming, go ahead and join that. Subscribe today. Now that I've thought about it, let's go ahead and bring this up real quick. last month in July, 88%. This is a literal look into my analytics. 88% of my watch time was from non-subscribers on the channel. Go ahead and subscribe today. This is basically my Streamly pledge or Streamly sales tactic of trying to get you to sign up for YouTube. And it's totally free. It's easy. Subscribe to all your favorite creators. It doesn't mean anything monetarily to them, but it's kind of a nice little badge of honor to see that number go up. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, do a good thing, do a good deed today, subscribe today. It's totally free. It takes 2 seconds. And it's just a nice, easy way to support a creator. Appreciate it. And go ahead and join the Discord. I think we're at 128 members, if I'm not mistaken. Amazing place, lots of good people. As you can see, it actually tells you we are live now, and it gives you a little link. If you want to check out a live stream and see it live, you can. Gives you a little link right there, and then if you click on it, it gives you event details, and it tells you when the next streams are, etc., etc. That's kind of handy. It's nice to have. If you'd like to request a channel and there's something you're into, or maybe, you know, you're a part of a fandom and you don't see it listed here on the left-hand side in the Discord, you can go ahead and request it, and we will create a channel specifically for that. You can talk about it. You can meet other people who are into it, all that good stuff. It's amazing. You will find that there is a lot of people who enjoy what you enjoy. That's kind of the one thing I've definitely noticed while being a part of it. It has been a wonderful experience. There's always someone around to chat because of time zones and insomnia. Indeed. Yes, we have people from all over the world, literally all over the world, that are available at pretty much every time of day. So go ahead and join the conversation. And you never know. You might meet someone who's just, you know, just clicks with you. And you're just into the same stuff, and it's just awesome. Super cool. Have a lot of fun, different topics as well, not just fandoms, not just shows, not just movies, etc. We got music and food and rant rave. Rocco Kitty just went to a state fair, which is a great time, and tons of different food. Go ahead and check out those photos. I thought that was really cool. It's been amazing to see that. All the fried food. If you're unfamiliar with U.S. state fairs, it's literally everything you can imagine fried, basically. Deep fried. It's been amazing to watch. The Olympics just ended. Obviously, the Paralympics are about to begin, and that will be posted in the Olympics channel. So go ahead and check it out. Usually a pretty great interaction in there. It was really fun to watch along with the Discord. Food has been so busy this week. Indeed. Indeed it is. It's been amazing, for sure. And updates from me, I always point this out because it's always a good way to, you know, for me to reach out to everybody. If the stream is going to be late, or maybe the upload's a little late due to copyright issues or whatever, I'll post about it in there. Basically, it's my one megaphone to everybody. Like, hey, stream's canceled. Stream is moved to Thursday. Going to be 20 minutes late. Going to take an extra day to get the YouTube upload up just because of copyright issues and blockage and whatnot. So go ahead and check that. You will get a notification if I post in there. It's kind of a handy way to do that. I prefer this, honestly, over most social media. Most social media is just kind of, I don't know. It's all about clout and all that stuff. I'm not really into that. But this is kind of a nice way to interact with you all without having all that necessary, I don't know, pressure of other social medias that are just awful. Someone wants to contact Todd regarding membership questions or anything else, Discord's the best way. Indeed, that is a great point. Great point. That is literally the easiest way to contact me. Just at me. We have a little members section as well. So if you're a member on the website, and you connect your Discord on the website, you'll actually get access to all that stuff. And that's how you also submit your video requests, which is super cool. I have no idea how any of that works, but it works somehow. But yeah, check out the Discord today. Lots of great people. As I said, I think it's over 128 members, which is super cool and growing. Magic indeed. It has been amazing. I think you will absolutely love it. So join today. We welcome you with open arms. And let's go ahead and get going here. The first video is Lucas and Peyton, Epic Love Story. Epic Love Story. Should be fascinating. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty epic. Maybe. Possibly. Let's go ahead and jump in.
Peyton Sawyer will become Peyton Scott. Lucas wrote this in the 8th grade.
You know, I used to watch you.
When?
Freshman year, sophomore year, both summers.
Stop it.
I used to watch you.
What did you watch?
Your legs, mostly.
Nice hands.
Nice legs.
What?
No, I'm serious.
The world isn't watching me.
Settle down
But I guess you are.
First of all, you don't know.
cover me up,
Second of all,
cuddle
you don't know.
me
Lucas can describe.
He knows your legs, though, apparently.
in. Lonely. Lie down with me
well, I'll be seeing you.
and hold
I'll be seeing you.
me.
It's hard losing you.
in your
It was hard seeing you again. Your art matters.
heart's
It's
against
what
my
got me.
chest. Your lips pressed
It's
in
like you
my
touched
neck.
my soul.
I'm falling for your
Love,
eyes.
that's the truth. If I never cared, then how come every time I see this stupid book, I buy it every stupid damn time, Luke?
Now,
Oh, come on. Tortured artist meets tortured athlete. How come that's your obvious attraction? Didn't mean anything.
It didn't.
Of course it did.
this feels
Fine.
like
That kiss did not feel exactly the same as it felt 3 years ago.
in love,
If I say
in love.
I love you right now, you hold it against me.
Settle down with me,
True love always.
and I'll be your
Always.
safety.
That's what we were supposed to have.
In my
I'm afraid that this conversation is going to end with
Goodbye.
arms.
I'll wait forever if I have to.
To keep
No matter
your
what it takes.
body warm,
I'll wait for you.
but I'm
It's always
cold
gonna be there,
as
isn't
the
it?
wind blows. So hold me in your arms.
You're always saving
Oh, no, my heart's against your
Somebody's
chest.
got to.
please let me find a way to save you.
You talk about how I'm
Falling
always saving
for
you.
your
I can't save you.
You didn't just happen to run back into school that day.
I'm not leaving you, Peyton.
This
Or say what
feeling
you tried to do.
unforgettable.
Peyton happened to
I'm
be there,
in love.
but you chose to be there.
6 billion people in the world.
Like you wanna be
6 billion souls. And sometimes, all you need is one.
You said I love you, Lucas.
He's on the door, Pete. He's on the damn door under me. I don't want to steal him, okay?
I gotta. Ooh, that pause though. Oh, gosh. I gotta say that is kind of an interesting fact that there is a lot. Well, there's over 6 billion now. There's over 7 billion, probably over 8 billion at this point. But there is a lot of people, and to find someone that clicks, you know, someone that meets your expectations, meets your, I don't know, personality, etc., is pretty amazing. Pretty awesome, actually. What are the odds?
Asked him once who he wanted next to him when his dreams came true. He said you.
Why would you tell me that?
I would have given anything to hear him say me.
It's you.
What?
Oh, my dreams come true. The one I want next to me. It's you.
The boy saw the comment, and he felt as though his life had meaning. And when it went away, he waited his entire life for it to come back to him.
Finally. I was now. I would always be in love with Peyton Sawyer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Didn't
I've
know
been
that.
feeling
Yes, baby, yes.
everything. From hate to love to lust, from lust to
Lucas. Boy, I've been telling you about. Look what he's done. He's got me smiling. Can you believe it?
Considering how low she
Baby
was.
Luke Scott. Our baby.
We're pregnant.
Considering how low she was after that Nathan situation.
I can't accept that our story doesn't have a good ending.
Our school already has the grace. It's an epic love story, Luke.
Looks like you found your queen. How'd you know which one to pick?
Yes, I always knew. I always knew you.
Tell him the tracks 8 and 11 make you think of him.
Tracks 8 and 11? Totally you.
I am so glad you always knew me.
Take a ride with me, Peyton Sawyer?
Don't you mean Peyton Scott?
You know, it does kind of make sense that they would end up together. They were the start. You know, he met Peyton before he ever met Brooke, basically. Obviously, you've been watching her from a distance. In a weird, odd way to say it, but yeah, I guess so. And I think he knew Nathan wasn't that good for her. It is still a little odd that you would go for anybody that a relative would go for. Like, that to me is a no-go. Like, that is a no. But, you know, small town relationships and issues are a little different. There's a little less people to choose from, so maybe that just becomes a thing. But, just the sheer imagining that is gross to me. But then again, small town. I didn't grow up in a small town. I grew up in a city area of about, I don't know, just over 100,000 or something like that. So it's not huge. It's not small, but it's kind of like right there in the middle. There's enough people. They didn't have to replay what was already coming over to the dinner table. But oh, that got me. That made me laugh. I grew up in a small town. I'd never date someone my bro had. Yes, I completely agree. I guess, I don't even know. That was the only excuse I could possibly give it, to not be creepy and gross and weird. But I guess, you know, it's just up to the person. But, oof. I don't think I could ever get past that, to be brutally honest. Luke, central protagonist, 6 seasons of One Tree Hill, quoted saying, "Happiness comes in many forms, in the company of good friends, the feeling you get when you make someone else's dream come true, and the promise of hope renewed. Okay to let yourself be happy when you know how fleeting that happiness might be." Well, happiness is fleeting. What's up, Jack? Welcome. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, happiness is absolutely fleeting. What is that Don Draper line in Mad Men? He said, "Happiness is the moment before you need more happiness." It's kind of true, honestly. Do you like Vampire Diaries? I do. I've reacted to quite a few videos, edits of Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries might have been one of the first ever shows that I reacted to any edits to. I think Doctor Who was officially #1, but Vampire Diaries was actually... Ooh, that is so close. It might be right around the same time, honestly. Doctor Who and Vampire Diaries. Because I know the first Vampire Diaries video was a Bonnie video. I know the first Doctor Who video was some sort of conglomerate of all the different Doctor Whos. I think it was right around the same time, honestly. But yes, very interesting show. I love the premise, certainly. definitely go ahead and check out the YouTube channel. I don't know how many reactions to those. Maybe like 70 at this point, 50. There's a lot. There's a lot of videos. Over the course of the first 4 seasons, Lucas was also involved in a complicated love triangle with his best friends Brooke Davis and Peyton Sawyer, who eventually turned out to be his one true love, and later became his wife and mother of his child, a daughter, whom the two called Sawyer. So after her last name, interesting. I know a lot of people think Brooke and Lucas were maybe a better pairing. Maybe. I don't know enough to really give that kind of a opinion. I would say Peyton just feels a little more right in the fact that they knew each other first, in a way. Maybe longevity means something, but maybe it does to me, I guess. But it does seem like they kind of fit each other very well. Very outsiders, trying to find their way, not really accepted by, everybody. It's kind of, they seem to be from the same ilk, honestly. Following Sawyer's birth, Lucas and Peyton moved away from the Tree Hill. At the end of the 6th season, after his departure, it was revealed Lucas had started writing his 3rd novel. Wrote his 2nd novel called The Comet, which turned out to be again focused on his everlasting love for Peyton. I mean, at that point, yeah. I think they were meant to be. If he's writing novels about her, I think that says a lot, honestly. However, after its publication, the book was not met with the same success as the first one. Yeah. One-hit wonder. Class of 2007. Wow. Literally the same class as me. Wow. That's awesome. Lucas and Peyton. Peyton, I loved you since the first time I saw you, and this ring and these words are simply a way to show the rest of the world what's been in my heart for as long as I've known you. I love you, Peyton Elizabeth Sawyer. I always have, and I always will. Well, you could tell pretty much early on, as soon as he saw Peyton, like he was taking note of her. Certainly, I didn't realize he was looking at her legs, but you could tell from the scenes that he was, keeping an eye on her in a, wow, who's that? I should get to know her kind of way. Lucas Scott, we have been through so much together, and despite how confused I've been or lost I might have gotten, there was always you finding me and saving me. You deserve to be adored. So that's what we're going to do. You, baby, and me. We are going to adore you for years to come. I am so terribly in love with you, and I always will be. I don't know. Something about those words kind of odd. I think it's you deserve to be adored. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know who wrote that, but that is not great. That is almost like flippant. You deserve to be adored, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. I guess that's why we're here. It seems a little flippant to me. I don't know. Maybe I would have tried that a little bit. Done a few edits on it. It's not very natural language. Indeed, it just seems very flippant in a way. I don't know. That was a little odd. There are 86 Vampire Diaries reactions. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've seen a few edits. Oh my gosh. Lucas and Peyton, also known as their, what is that word? Portmanteau? Leighton. Our relationship of on One Tree Hill, obviously. Set up in the series premiere. Yeah, it is early on. You get to see Lucas basically looking at Peyton like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Portmanteau. I've never heard of that word. Peyton's driving her car, a 63 Comet, hence the second novel's name. Looking for a CD, nearly invests him. Excuse me? Invests. Okay. Nearly makes an investment out of him. Oh my gosh. Do I have the giggles right now, or did that just make me laugh really hard? That was, I don't know why. Almost hits him, I guess. Flattens him. Smushes him with the car. In that moment, the two share an intense look at each other. In fact, as they're both admitted, between them, as they've both admitted. There we go. Come on now. Between them, it's been love at first sight. Then they have their first real conversation shortly after, when Peyton's car breaks down near a lake and Lucas goes to pick her up with his tow truck. The two show an immediate and spontaneous, obviously there's no editing on this website, but it is what it is, put together by the fans, and I do appreciate that. They start bonding over their common passion for music, art, and literature, and discover how kindred they are, leading their feelings for each other to grow increasingly stronger. Though since then, they've been through a lot together. In fact, they are described as a star-crossed couple, since their love story has never been easy, full of obstacles right from the start. In fact, they're sometimes called the heart of the show. Wow. They finally get their happily ever after at the end of the 6th season, when they get married, and right after have a daughter, Sawyer Scott, which is kind of interesting because it's both last names together. And then the three of them drive off into the sunset together. Well, that's nice. Medication giggles? Maybe. Highlights. Good. Your art matters. It's what got me here. One of the couple's highlights, in fact, it underlines a major aspect of the relationship between Lucas and Peyton, is the deep connection they've always shared, thanks to be extremely alike and kindred, due to both being introverted intellectuals passionate about their literature, art, and music, over which they bonded a lot of times. The line is pronounced by both in different occasions to try not to make the other give up on their personal art. That's great. That's very nice. That's very sweet. You're always saving me. I just immediately got the Smallville theme song stuck in my head. Somebody save me. As stated above, another of the couple's cores is Lucas always being there for Peyton and saving her from danger. They list multiple episodes, other difficult situations, to the point that a specific music theme was composed to emphasize this aspect of the relationship. It is called Saving Peyton. In fact, one of the most important and famous Peyton lines to Lucas is "You're always saving me." That was in her vows that I already read. True love always. Lucas and Peyton's official catchphrase is "True love always." The two painted the line in Peyton's closet door after they finally got together to remark the fact that it's always been them and their love. It's always been them, and their love will last forever, no matter what. Peyton Sawyer will become Peyton Scott. Every year before school started, Lucas and Haley were used to write predictions about the goals they wanted to achieve. Peyton will become Peyton Scott is Lucas' first and most important prediction. Whoa. Good grief. That's a bit of a serious one. I thought they were going to do I get an A in algebra this year or something. Which he wrote at the beginning of the 8th grade. What? When he saw Peyton for the first time and instantly fell in love with her. Good grief. Despite this, it took him about 3 years to gather up the courage, try to talk to her for the first time, which he finally did in the scene where he went to help her with the broken car and the pilot, beginning of One Tree Hill, beginning of junior year. Regarding that moment, Haley revealed during them two's wedding that after that after finally talking to Peyton, Lucas told her Peyton Sawyer is not human. She's an angel. She's my angel. Between that very first prediction and his first talk to Peyton, every single one of Lucas's predictions was about her. Whoa. 8th grade? You're probably, just for reference here, you're probably around what, 13 years old? 12, 13, 14? Around there? Good Lord. He has been about Peyton since the beginning. Oh my gosh. Whoa. That is something. Romantic or obsessive crush? Yeah, probably started on the latter. Probably started as an obsessive crush and then turned into romantic. Probably a good thing that she enjoyed his company. Before he said that, I've been watching you. I've been looking at your legs line. Probably a good idea that he waited on that one. Because that would not go well. If she didn't have the same feelings for him, that would not have gone very well at all, actually. But obviously she was feeling feelings for him at that point, so he felt safe in admitting that. But wow, that is a line. That is a line. Whoa. Kind of crazy how that worked out. But hey, you know, maybe they were meant to be together. I don't know. Seems like it. 2 introvert intellectuals is a good way to put it. They seemed somewhat similar in that pilot episode. You know, she was dealing with Nathan, obviously, but, you know, kind of that introvert artist, you know, a little broody. And then, I mean, Lucas was that especially. So, seems like they go together quite nice. Kind of a crazy start to it, though. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and jump into the second video of the day. It is Why Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a Masterpiece of Television. I have no idea what this is. No idea what the show is. Never heard of it. Apparently it was on the CW, is what I'm reading in the description of it. Rachel Bloom is a creative genius, and Pluto discovers to be a planet. What? I don't know. I have no idea what to expect here. But we're going to jump into it and see what the heck happens.
What are you waiting for? Spread it. Indulge. Ask yourself, when was the last time you were truly happy?
If you ask me how I'm doing, I'm feeling peppy, sprightly, spry. I'm good getting by.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is easily the best show to have ever aired on the CW channel. And honestly, one of the best shows out there in general. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I don't even know where to start with the show. It's really just so brilliant.
I immediately
so
enjoy
many
this
different
guy's
ways.
personality.
If you've never heard of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, though, let me give you the base concept. Rebecca Bunch is a lawyer from New York City who is absolutely miserable. Well, actually, wait. The season 1 theme song pretty much summarizes all of this.
I was working hard at a New York job and go with me blue. One day I was trying a lot, and so I decided to move to West Covina, California, brand new pals and a new career. It happens to be what Josh lists, but that's not why I'm here. She's the crazy ex-girlfriend. That's a sexist term. She's the crazy ex-girlfriend. Can you guys stop singing for just a second? She's so broken inside. The situation's a lot more nuanced than that.
Oh, and let me fill you in with one other small detail you might find interesting. It's a fucking musical.
West Covina, California.
I was not expecting that.
Trapped in a car with someone you don't want to be. Trapped in a car with. Trapped in a car. Period sex. Period sex.
Oh, didn't mean to play that last one, but hey, might as well use this clip as a segue into a brief exploration on how fucking progressive this show is. Words cannot express how revolutionary this show is. Like, yeah, period sex is a gross song, but 1, that's kind of the point, and 2, how fucking groundbreaking is it for a show to actually talk about women's health like this? the show talks about topics that are normally pretty taboo for network television, which, I mean, honestly, the fact that it's taboo in the first place is really dumb. Like, guess what? Menstruation is a fucking regular thing for like 50% of people. Why is it so taboo to mention on TV? Oh, wait. I can tell you why. Because the majority of broadcast television is designed specifically for the male gaze, and the shows that are actually aimed at women are usually specifically cashing in on the preteen girl demographic, which is a whole nother can of toxic worms to unpack another day. Now, I'm not saying that Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a show that can only be watched by women. After all, I'm a cisgender male who fucking adores the series. But what I am saying is that it's really damn refreshing to see a show that isn't ashamed to talk about these issues and doesn't specifically pander towards a certain demographic, you know, like 85% of the other TV material out there. Yes, I just spent quite a bit of time talking about menstruation. Don't question it. But seriously, the show is just so refreshing with these things. Like, even from the first episode, the show doesn't feel the need to coat every actress with makeup to glamorize them for the screen. This is just what human beings look like. Why is this so rare to see in media? Almost every character on the show looks like a normal fucking person. Like, these all look like people that you would actually see in real life. Not everyone's some unrealistic stud, and that's fucking awesome. In fact, the entire sexy getting ready song in the first episode, it really is just a brilliant way of showing the kind of gross truth of making yourself look good.
'Cause boy, I know you like an hourglass silhouette.
The show, of course, also has some of the best LGBT representation out there, in my opinion. Like, the entire song Getting By is just a love letter to the bisexual community, and I fucking adore it.
Are you just gay? Why don't you just go gay all the way? 'Cause bi's legit. Whether you're a he or a she, we might be a perfect fit. I don't care if you wear high heels or a tie. You might just catch my eye because I'm definitely bi. Being bi does not imply that you're a player or a slut. Oh yeah, I'm letting my bi flag fly.
Choosing to make Daryl, of all people, bisexual was just so fucking refreshing because in most recent television, bisexual characters tend to only be younger women who are then over-sexualized once again by that dreaded male gaze. Having this sung by a middle-aged single dad is just so fucking smart on behalf of the show's creators, and that's really the only actual coming out scene in the series, because it was kind of necessary for Daryl's character growth in the second half of the first season. Later on in the show, certain characters legit just date people of the same gender without even addressing it, and that's fucking awesome. The representation of sexuality in the show is just so beautiful, because it treats these same-sex relationships like normal fucking relationships, which in my opinion is so much better than the blatant and unnatural ways that shows like Riverdale try to incorporate same-sex
calling out
relations.
Riverdale.
Daryl and White Josh are actually such a great fucking couple. Like, holy shit, they're so cute together, and I fucking love this show for doing such a good job with pairings like these. In terms of the bass music itself, the show constantly shows off its ability to nail any genre of music, giving us countless pastiches to other artists, such as Meghan Trainor,
My sperm, the tests have all confirmed.
ABBA, ABBA, the Mamma Mia people, you know who they are.
The first penis I saw. First penis, very first penis.
And musicals such as Les Miserables.
She didn't come.
And Dear Evan Hansen.
I'm noticing a bit of a pattern. Are we noticing it?
But these are all just tiny pieces of what make the show great. After all, this show is the story of
RebekahNRM.
Nope.
The
It
titular
just happened to be
crazy
what he
ex-girlfriend
selected,
herself.
but
She's a crazy
the pattern?
ex-girlfriend.
What? No, she's not.
She's a crazy ex-girlfriend.
That's a sexist term, Scott.
She's a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Okay, just stop talking for a second.
She's so broken inside.
Now, I will be discussing the actual plot of the show from here on out, so if you're really gung-ho about avoiding any spoilers, then you may want to leave. However, most of the plot points in
Don't
the
leave.
show, specifically relating to mental illness, actually make the initial viewing even better when knowing them beforehand, in my experience. So I'd still recommend sticking around. I'll let you know before I discuss any actual super heavy spoilers. Rebecca Bunch is one of the most well-written characters in television history. Who is she?
She's funky, she's sweet, a generous
Those are
friend.
bold
But there she was
claims.
kinda mean. Okay, she's snarky, sarcastic, and what you know we're not really seeing a common theme.
No, but in reality, she's just a person. A realistic person who makes mistakes just like the rest of us. The specific thing worth noting, however, is that as the show goes on, it becomes known that she actually has BPD, otherwise known as borderline personality disorder. And let me just say, I was absolutely floored by how realistic the portrayal of BPD was in the show. Like, it's fucking raw and painful to watch at times because of how fucking accurate everything is. I don't personally have BPD myself, but I've known multiple people that do, and it was almost scary how realistic the show's portrayal of the disorder was, especially in the second half of the show.
No, I get it. You hate everything, and you hate this place. It's making you miserable, so I'm making you miserable, and I'm an idiot. This was a stupid idea, so let's just go. Let's just go.
Now, that clip I just played was from Season 4, and I think serves as a very good starting point to talk about how Rebekah's BPD is ultimately the crux of the entire series. As mentioned earlier, this show is a musical. I love how I'm saying that, like you could somehow forget that after I just showed you like 15 fucking different clips from the musical numbers, but the real question is, what exactly are these musical numbers? Are they happening within the universe? Are they in Rebekah's head? Are they just representations of the inner thoughts of the characters? Are they just regular dialogue exchanges put to music? The answer to all of this is yes. It's a bit complicated because technically you could say that all of these answers really are correct. Let's first talk about the bulk of the songs though, which are from Rebekah's perspective and are essentially representations of her own internal thought process.
Rebekah? Ooh, hello? Oh, I get it. You're doing that thing that you do. All right.
Let's take the first song of the entire series.
West Covina.
Right in the middle of a mental breakdown, Rebekah runs into Josh, some guy that she dated at a summer camp back in high school. She finds out that he's living in West Covina, some random fucking town in California. She was just offered this promotion that she's been waiting for, so why isn't she happy?
This is great. I'm so happy. Mom's gonna be so happy. This is what happy feels like. Happy just feels great and amazing. This is definitely what happy feels like. What's wrong with you? This is what happy feels like.
It's now that she decides to make a very, very impulsive decision, prompting her first dissociative episode of the series. She begins to fantasize about this town of West Covina and how great it'll be for her. She can find happiness there. We can see a stark difference between her view of NYC versus West Covina. Everyone in New York is clearly very judgmental towards her, whereas in West Covina, no one seems thrown off by her.
Honestly, if you're choosing to live in New York, I've never been, I've never lived, but I've seen things, I've heard things. It is very high pressure, whether it's from other people, whether it's expectations put on by, just living there, expense of living, etc. Like, you were expected to produce something and somehow come up with enough money to live there, which is just, it just sounds like a pressure cooker. And I have no interest in ever living in New York City. Now, would it be kind of interesting for a little bit? Yeah, it might be. Kind of cool to live in like a mega city. But the sheer amount of pressure to be able to live there, afford to live there comfortably. Because, getting by is okay, but that's not a lot of fun if you barely get by. You got to have a little extra room there. And to be able to do that in New York City, you got to have a lot of money. And it is just, the idea and the stress of that is mind-numbing to me. London's the same in a lot of ways. Rent's crazy as hell. Indeed. Yeah, London, certainly a mega city. It's just, it's probably a lot of fun to visit for a couple days, kind of check it out, see the different lifestyle, how people live there. But it's one of those places where I would be happy to visit. I would be more happy to not live there and leave. It's just one of those places where, I would love to see London, but I don't know if I would love to live in London.
Her musical number. Now, as we learn, none of Rebekah's musical numbers take place in reality, so these reactions are, in fact, just something that she's specifically imagining.
None of you exist. But that can't be true. I have feelings. I have memories. No, you don't. I just have an active fantasy life. I created you and I can destroy you.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen the show, you may be wondering, how exactly do we know for sure that every single one of Rebekah's musical numbers are in her imagination? The answer to that is found in Season 4, where we find out that, in reality, she can't actually sing for shit.
Endless, incredible instant. I was harmonizing.
So basically, any musical number where she's actually singing is confirmed to not be real. Bam! Facts and logic. But moving back to West Covina itself as a musical number.
And also by coincidence, Josh just happens to be here.
This leaves us with a question. She moved here for Josh, right? But what about Josh is so great? They dated for like a month in high school, and he seems like, well, the worst. So why would she move here for him? As Season 1 progresses and Rebekah's asked this question by Josh himself, this is the answer she gives.
I was miserable in New York. And then I ran into you, Josh, and you told me about West Covina, and you kept using the word happy. I had to be where the happiness was, so I put feelers out and I got a job here.
And honestly, it actually makes sense in the moment. I can vibe with that. It really...
I love him so much.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Here for you.
Yeah, she basically admits to lying like 30 seconds later. So she did move here for Josh, but why? Why? This is the question, and as the show goes on, we can begin to decipher this puzzle. Rebekah did move to West Covina for Josh, but not for him as a person. She moved to West Covina because in this moment, when she was questioning why she wasn't happy, Josh served as a reminder of the time in her life when she was happy. For her, that summer with Josh was one of the greatest periods of time in her life, and in this moment, this inciting incident, if you will,
so she's attaching Josh to a happy time in her life.
Represents in her mind. I mean, really,
gotcha.
The first half of the show is all centered around her understanding the reasoning behind this impulse decision.
The second I saw you on the street in New York, I knew. I just knew you were the answer to all my problems.
So anyway, that was a total major detour from the topic of musical numbers in the show. Sorry, this is all over the place, but just like life, my videos don't make narrative sense. So most of the musical numbers in this show take place in Rebekah's head, but let's talk about the exceptions to this rule. Firstly, talking about which musical numbers do actually happen in-universe and would be considered diegetic. All of Rebekah's numbers are, of course, non-diegetic, but there are, in fact, some diegetic numbers throughout the series as well, though it's hard to definitively prove some of them, so it's a bit speculative. Obviously, all the songs from the play in Season 4 are diegetic, but then we have a song like Greg's I Gave You a UTI.
My penis is the reason you may die. I gave you a UTI.
I think this one's actually diegetic, just with a little extra backing music, courtesy of Rebekah's imagination. The way he actually plays the pots and pans like a drum set and his overall attitude in the scene making sense, given his
It definitely seems like they're leaning pretty heavy
actually
in
happens
the
in universe. A slightly more questionable one is Daryl's song "You're My Best Friend."
the lowbrow kind of comedy in those musicals.
Almost entirely
I'm sure there's different kinds, but boy, it seems like every one that's been played so far.
So I feel like it's
just a one track. Just keep going back to it, get some laughs.
Because again, they're mostly from Rebekah's perspective. But as we learn more and more, especially once we find out
I'm assuming there's a lot different variety there, but wow, so far in this video.
Representative of what's actually happening. A prime example of this is the song "Settle for Me" in Season 1.
There you go.
Demeaning terms are all that I have left of my masculinity, so settle for me.
When Greg asks Rebekah out very, very early on in the show, this is the way that she sees that whole conversation go down. Greg asking her to just settle for him over Josh, swallowing his pride, the whole shebang. However, once they actually do go out, we get this little moment.
And your whole settle for me vibe, like, it's weird and sad.
Okay, well, that's not quite how I remembered it. I don't want you to settle for me.
The entire scene of Settle for Me was just Rebekah's perspective and not at all how it actually happened. I think an even better example is another Greg song, this one sung by the recasted Greg, played by Skylar Astin, titled simply, I Hate Everything But You.
I hate when people post pictures with the hashtag mood. I hate when people call blueberries a superfood.
The way Rebekah perceives this conversation is basically just Greg talking about how much he hates everything for like 3 minutes straight, with a couple of lines thrown in about how she's the one thing that he doesn't hate. After the song ends, we get this interaction that I played a little earlier in the video.
Did that not work?
You hate everything, and you hate this place. It's making you miserable, so I'm making you miserable, and I'm an idiot. This was a stupid idea, so let's just go.
Clearly, Greg said something completely different to what she interpreted, but at this point, she's been skipping group therapy and ignoring her treatment and basically relapsing, so she yeets right on out of there. And I think that using these musical numbers like this is actually a fucking perfect way to visually display the mistaken interpretations of events that people with BPD commonly have. Essentially like their brain is going out of its way to deceive them. That's something very difficult to have to overcome, and from what I've seen, the show's portrayal of BPD has actually been very empowering to those that actually do suffer from the disorder. We also very often see Rebekah's self-hatred represented in these musical numbers as well.
Yes, I deserve this.
Oh, wait a minute. I've heard that before. Pretty sure I have.
Joke's on you, bitch, you'll never be free.
You're still a poopy little slut who lives in a dream and doesn't know how to love.
Okay, here's the final thing I want to touch on in regards to the show's musical numbers.
I'm imagining myself in a musical number. That's how I sometimes see big moments in my life. And because I do that, so does the show.
The thing is, Rebekah isn't present for many of the songs in the show.
Spit hot guys have problems too.
Hold on, are you?
Yeah,
are you
I think
actually
so.
here? Like in reality? Yeah. You want to join our imaginary song and dance?
Sure. And we don't actually have an answer for how this works, unfortunately. It's really all speculation. I think the most likely answer is that these numbers are just representations of what these characters are truly thinking, just viewed through this musical lens, just like Rebekah would see it. The show presents antidepressants in a really interesting way as well. Of course, there's the song Antidepressants Are So Not a Big Deal, which talks about how basically everyone's on antidepressants, and we shouldn't be ashamed of it, made even better by how it's stylized to resemble the songs in La La Land.
Fluoxetine, fluoxetine,
Paroxetine, paroxetine.
citalopram, citalopram.
But before this song, Rebekah has had a really bad experience with antidepressants, as I feel many of us have in the past. Jumping back all the way to episode 1, she's on antidepressants, and it makes her feel like a robot. This is
Is a
one of the
pharmaceutical
factors in the
sponsoring this
absolute
show?
misery that she feels in New York. She just feels nothing, and she hates it. She
I have
dumps
no idea
all of her
if
meds
those are
as
actual
soon as she
real
gets to
names.
West Covina, but when she starts to feel negative thoughts again as season 1 progresses, she's desperate to take those same meds again to numb herself. She literally takes a random pill that she finds on the floor of the therapy
In a
office.
bathroom.
Jesus. Fuck.
Oh, no.
All right, I think the last thing I want to talk about
Oh,
before getting into the
no.
heavier spoilers is some of the more delusional episodes that Rebekah suffers from.
Oh, God.
Throughout the series, she consistently throws herself into the high of a relationship. She thinks that when she's in a relationship, she's fine. She's safe. And as such, when in a relationship or pining after someone, she consistently ignores her therapy and treatment. When she and Greg get into a fight, in
that's
season
never
4,
good.
she tries jumping back to Nathaniel and
Definitely
Josh
avoid
to try
those
to
people.
feel happy. Season 2, leading up to the big wedding. This is when she struggles the most. She has the same fears and panic attacks that she had in New York.
This is what happy feels like.
And so she keeps trying to find ways to make herself happy because that's ultimately her greatest desire. That's what she wants. So she moves her wedding up to be only 2 weeks away and lies about her reason why to even Paula, her best friend and partner in crime. Finally, once her dad shows back up and things seem to be going somewhat all right, she falls into her most delusional episode by far. She ignores all the very serious red flags and fully believes that everything is going to be perfect as she sings this medley of reprises. It's easily the most delusional sequence of the entire series, in my opinion. The saddest part is how happy she is, despite how absolutely devastatingly sad this development is.
I'll never have problems again.
Alright, we shall now be heading into what I deem the spoiler zone, talking about some of the bigger and more important plot elements that those of you who haven't seen the series may want to be wary of. So to skip spoilers, just head over to the timestamps shown on screen now. So, Season 3. Motherfucker, this shit destroyed me. Like, let me tell you, the moment that Rebekah's mom opens her laptop to find that the website she's been looking at was the 9 least painful ways to kill yourself,
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Holy shit. That fucking broke me. God. I mean, it almost seemed like she was trying to kill herself back in the Season 2 finale, but in Season 3, she really does go through with a suicide attempt. She leaves her mom a suicide note and overdoses on her flight. I've never before seen such a painfully accurate portrayal of suicide attempts on television. It physically hurt to watch, and yes, it made me cry. Now this comes directly after another legitimate masterpiece the show produced, when Rebekah imagines herself in a horror movie, after she admits that she doesn't even care what happens to herself.
You know what? That kind of tells me she didn't actually want to go through with it. If she did it around that many different people, probably could have helped. Probably could have called for help, emergency landed, whatever. That shows a little bit of not wanting to do it. Doing it in front of others like that. Just kind of an initial reaction there.
I'm the villain in
You really wanted to go through with it, obviously you
She
do it
considers
alone.
herself a villain, or in this case, a horror monster to all of her friends. So she basically acts like the villain of a horror movie and torments Josh. This is one of her massive relapses in the show, and it makes
More of a
Josh
cry for help.
genuinely
Yeah.
believe that she's a psycho. The worst
Kind of my
part
thinking on
is
that.
the ending, where she finds
Not really
out that
a
Greg is finally
thing you
happy
do
now
with
that
an
he's
audience.
away from her. This all leads up to the start of the very
If
lowest
you
period
really
of her
dead
life,
set.
where she sleeps with Greg's dad.
Not that anyone should do it. If you're thinking about doing it, seek help immediately.
This leads us back to the suicide attempt, continuing in this dark period for Rebekah. The craziest part
Feel like
is
I
how
have to
this
say
was
that.
set up from literally episode fucking 1.
I called my dad on his honeymoon in the Bahamas, and I told him I was having suicidal thoughts, so ta-da, here I am.
I hope this isn't another stunt like your little suicide attempt in law school.
However, we actually see Rebekah's mom in this episode show that she truly does care for Rebekah, but it's very complicated for sure. Once she discovers Rebekah's intentions, everything she does to try and help Rebekah here. Her attitude changes, and she actively gives Rebekah these shakes, despite the constant fat-shaming from her in Rebekah's youth. However, these shakes do turn out to contain some sort of antidepressant in them, so basically her mom was drugging her. These characters
Good grief.
are flawed. Yes, her mother loves her. Yes, this is an absolutely horrible thing to do. It's not a contradiction. Her mother was trying to help Rebekah in the best way she knew how, which also doubled as a terrible, awful thing to do.
Dosing somebody with
also why she tries to call
antidepressants.
Rebekah's suicide attempts ploys for attention and such. It's very much the wrong thing to say, and a very terrible thing to say at that. But I assume from her perspective it's a method of trying to make Rebekah avoid attempting it again. It's not a good decision, but it's a human decision.
I kind of just want to go back to sleep forever.
This shit fucking hurts. It does. It really does. And seeing Nathaniel's reaction to all of it is also genuinely heartbreaking. And it becomes even worse when he has the revelation that his mother had tried killing herself when he was a child. Basically,
Right.
these episodes just made me cry a fucking lot. She then gets diagnosed
Meds,
with
drugs,
BPD.
whatever.
A person
It's
with
just
BPD
not
is essentially
safe.
someone who has difficulty regulating their emotions, someone that lacks the protective emotional skin to feel comfortable in the world.
And I liked the touch they added when the doctor tells her to not look at anything about BPD on the internet before her appointment, which she then ignores, giving herself a panic attack. Just really fucking accurate stuff. God damn. We also find out that the season 3 theme song is actually something she imagines while on the toilet very shortly after both her suicide attempt and her BPD diagnosis. She's processing her diagnosis by imagining herself in various music videos. The craziest theme song related reveal in the show, however, is at the end of season 2, where we find out what inspired Rebekah to imagine the season 2 theme song. It turns out that she had an affair with a married professor at Harvard, and when he admitted to basically just fucking with her, she burned down his house, and this is how the court case went down.
I'm just a girl in love.
Your Honor, she's just a girl in love.
I can't be held responsible for my actions.
She can't be held responsible for her actions.
I have no underlying issues to address. I'm certifiably cute and adorably obsessed.
But I don't need help. I have no underlying issues to address.
She was, in fact, in a mental institution prior to the start of the show, making lines like this.
I mean,
Okay, no, I'm crazy.
All
I'm
right,
crazy.
this is going
I'm
down
crazy and
a
I'm
road
irrational
that
and
I am
everything
not
my mother
supposed-
said.
All the more impactful. All right, let's bounce to the end of the show. Who is she going to end up with? Josh? Greg? Nathaniel? I think we all predicted it, but the show still makes her lack of a choice really work thematically and actually function as a very satisfying end overall.
It won't be ending up with someone, because romantic love is not an ending. It's just a part of your story.
She decides to pursue musical theater as a career, since literally throughout the entire series, she's imagined everything as a musical. This is what everything has been building up to. She's been hiding this part of herself because of her embarrassment over it, but it was actually a truly beautiful thing. The show ends with her as she begins to play her first ever song, and it's beautiful. The most hidden part of herself was the key to the happiness that she desired all along. Alright, let's talk about Trent and how while the show is super feminist, it also manages to be super anti-feminist simultaneously. Now obviously songs like Let's Generalize About Men are very clearly poking fun at feminism. That's pretty hard to miss.
Let's take one bad thing about one man and apply it to all of them.
But Trent is a character that exists for the purpose of showing the inherent dismissal of Rebekah's behavior due to her being a woman. Trent is Rebekah. Graduated from a fancy college, works at a
Trent
super well-paying
is
job,
John
and
Cena
is
from Wish.com. Anyone else kind of gathering? I'm looking at his face, I'm like, I kind of see it. It's like John Cena mixed with William Dafoe. Or Willem Dafoe. What? A little Jim Carrey in there, too.
I said blam.
Yeah, I heard you.
The show isn't exactly super subtle with Trent being a copy of Rebekah, as all of his short musical numbers are just reprises of her songs.
Trent's getting ready. The Trent is getting ready. Oh, crap. Back. Period.
Nope, you don't get to sing that.
Trent is fucking creepy. His stalker and blackmailing behavior towards Rebekah is fucking disturbing, and he is very obviously absolutely disgusting. But wait, Rebekah does all of these things. We dismiss that behavior because of her gender and some of the inherent sexism that we've been raised to believe without question. Trent's always got the best moments of the show because he helps remind us as the audience and Rebekah herself as a character that she's not doing the right thing. She can't use the excuse of doing it for love. This is fucked up behavior, and that's why she needs to grow as a person. Okay, last thing before I close out this terribly paced and formulated video. Fucking Nathaniel! Oh my lord! Rebekah definitely should have ended up with him. I'm just saying, okay? Like, let's compare him at the start of the show.
Just super quickly have intercourse. You could use the exercise.
Cappy from Greek.
To him towards the end.
Anybody knows
She
that
practically
show?
raised me. If I needed somebody, she was there. And the very next person to love me like that was Rebekah. And now they're gone. They're both gone. People I cared about most of my life are gone.
He's also very easily the least toxic out of Rebekah's relationships and actually actively improved because of Rebekah. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to vent my appreciation for this ship. Alright, but seriously, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a masterpiece of a show that provides one of the most fulfilling viewing experiences ever by giving us an intimate look at a very personal struggle Rebekah is facing with her disorder. The show is never about Josh. It was always about mental health.
Oh my god, I think I like you. Oh my god, I think I like you. It's scary, but you send me back on my heels. 'Cause while I'm getting spanked, I can't.
Okay, what can I say about that? Let's see. Oh boy. In my mind, all right, link down below, YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw it some love. Excellent edit. Very well thought out. Obviously put a lot of time and effort into that. I'm looking at that show and thinking I would absolutely not enjoy that show. It's almost too real. There's not enough escapism in it. what I enjoy about shows and movies, etc., content, is that it's not super real. It may glance on some issues, which I'm sure some people hate. The fact that it doesn't, a lot of stuff doesn't get in depth or talked about or whatever. But also, that's what kind of makes it not real. And that's what I kind of enjoy about content, is that it's not one for one with life. If you're looking for one for one with life, documentaries, etc., shows like that might interest you, certainly. But I look at that and I go, that is a nightmare of a show. It's too real. Too real. Even yes, it does have musicals and delusion and all that stuff in there, but it's not enough. Even the musicals are relating to real life. I like a little bit more, I don't know, just a little bit more distance between life and reality in my content. It does look interesting. Obviously, it was a well done show. But yeah, personally, that's a no-go for me. That is an absolute no-go. But hey, if you enjoyed it, I hope you loved the heck out of it. And I'm assuming if you watched that video and you really enjoyed it, obviously you enjoyed the heck out of that show. And that is cool. I am a fan of anything that anyone likes. But me personally, I'm not really into it. I get it, having dated someone with undiagnosed BPD. Feels a bit too close to home. Still love the song Getting By as a song, though. Yeah, absolutely. Certainly there's elements of it that are hilarious and amazing and whatnot. But I gotta think, just going through season after season, I would just kind of get me out of here. Get me out of here. It is a romantic comedy drama television series. Went on the CW for 4 seasons, starting in 2015, ending in 2019. Created, written, and directed by Rachel Bloom and Aline McKenna. Stars Bloom in the lead role. Lawyer who moves from New York City to West Covina, California, to pursue her ex-boyfriend from high school summer camp. Despite drawing constantly low ratings, that's not surprising. Throughout its 4-season run, the show received widespread critical acclaim. That's also not surprising. And won several awards, including multiple Primetime Emmys, Golden Globe, Critics' Choice. One of the lowest rated shows in television history to be renewed through 4 seasons. Okay. Where do I go with that information? It's pretty clear somebody in CW really either liked the messaging of the show or really enjoyed the, concept of the show, the content of it, enough to throw money at I'm assuming lost money show, lowest rated in television history. That's wild. That is so wild. So it seems like I'm not alone in that, in that feeling of maybe not for me. Seriously, that feels harsh when nonsense like Riverdale lasted so long somehow. Somehow Riverdale got more viewers. I don't know how or why, but yeah, that's bad. That is not good. Wow. That is unbelievable. Article titled "The Golden Age of TV is Over" in 2019. A lot of people did say that Golden Age of TV was when Game of Thrones was on and whatnot. Walking Dead was at its peak. Yeah, maybe. But I think there's still a lot of great shows on. Rebekah is a Yale and Harvard-educated lawyer who works for a top New York City law firm, which I can't even imagine the amount of stress that involves. It's not surprising. She was trying to get to West Covina. When offered a promotion, she panics, flees the building, and happens to encounter Josh, whom she dated briefly as a teenager. Josh tells her that he's moving back to his hometown of West Covina. She decides to follow Josh to West Covina in search of happiness, while telling herself that Josh was not the reason she decided to move. Interesting. She gets a job at Daryl Whitefeather's law firm. Becomes friends with the firm's paralegal, Paula, we saw in the video, and her neighbor, Heather, and begins an on-again, off-again relationship with Josh's friend, Greg. All while trying to reconnect with Josh. Oh. Gosh. I'm starting to understand the title of the show. In the second season, Rebekah begins a tumultuous relationship with Josh after Valencia dumps him. Greg leaves town to attend university, and Rebekah and Valencia begin to become friends. Meanwhile, the wealthy, admirable Nathaniel Plimpton becomes a partner at Daryl's firm, hoping to cement their troubled relationship. Rebekah and Josh plan to get married, but he leaves her at the altar. Ouch. Third season, Rebekah's emotional state hits rock bottom. She attempts to end herself, receives a diagnosis of BPD, and begins attempting to take better care of her mental health and take responsibility for her actions. After she begins an on-again, off-again relationship with Nathaniel, a series of events leads to Rebekah pushing her stalker, Trent, off a roof. Whoa. Determined to take responsibility for her actions, Rebekah pleads guilty to the crime and goes to jail. In the fourth season, released from jail and quits her job at the law firm. Greg returns to town. Feels pressured to choose between Josh, Nathaniel, and Greg. She instead spends a year focusing on figuring out her own emotional needs and pursuing her interest in songwriting. The series ends with Rebekah about to perform one of her own songs publicly for the first time. 4 seasons, 62 episodes. Now I got to see these ratings. I have got to see these ratings. Where are they? So it was getting renewed 18, 13, 13, and then the last season 18 went up again. Let's see. Average rating on Rotten Tomatoes, first season, 97% rating. Metacritic signs a rating out of 100 at a score of 78 based on 23 reviews. Eccentric, charming commentary on human relationships. Lively musical numbers, refreshing, energetic lead. Let's see. Critical acclaim that the show enjoyed was a factor in its renewal through 4 seasons, so literally they renewed it based off of critics. In spite of its consistently low Nielsen ratings, in 3 of its 4 seasons, it finished in last place for the season. Total viewers among all regularly scheduled broadcast programs. Lone exception, 2017 to 2018 season, next to last behind another CW show, Life Sentence. Life Sentence. It was ultimately one of the lowest rated shows in television history the last 4 seasons. Oh. Meanwhile, critics absolutely loved it. Oh, here we go. It was Monday at 8. That's a good time slot. Friday at 9. So it moved from Monday to Friday. Friday at 8. Got better time slot. So it averaged less than 1 million viewers per season. And then went down to 500,000 viewers. Up to 600,000. Down the last season to 400,000 viewers. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Put into perspective, Mr. Beast gets what? 70 million views? 150 million views. Crazy numbers. Oh, this is the big one. This is the one that counts. The 18 to 49-year-olds watching. 400, 300, 300. Didn't even put it. To be determined. They probably just stopped reading it. Wow. That is so interesting. And look at all these awards. Best Actress in a Comedy. Outstanding Choreography. That makes sense. Best Actress. Musical Comedy. So clearly it hit all the right buttons in what they talked about. Content of the show. Did not land with viewers, unfortunately. Dang. Wow. I was not expecting that. That is unbelievable. Wyatt deserves another look. Let's see. Versus the messy road to self-discovery. True love. Actually, that's a great storyline. Self-discovery is a good one. True love through its eclectic soundtrack of original musical numbers. Isn't until season 3 that Crazy Ex-Girlfriend gives Rebekah the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, turning the crazy ex trope on its head and giving audiences an actual realistic portrayal of mental illness. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, like many acclaimed portrayals of mental health. Actually, you know what I was thinking of? Was Fleabag. Literally, when I was watching that. I was immediately thinking of that. Effectively uses comedy to portray the nuances of mental illness, but unlike some of the other more popular shows, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend can easily deceive the casual viewer who decides to give it a shot after it appears in their Netflix recommended list. Especially in season 1, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend appears candy-coated on the surface. Another almost manic pixie dream girl sitcom with a side of glitz, glamour, and showbiz. Perhaps this is why, on the whole, the series often gets overlooked, passed over in favor of the more quirky girl sitcoms like New Girl, which I have definitely reacted to on this channel. Go ahead and check out the videos on YouTube. Or darker comedies like BoJack Horseman. But what is particularly special about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is often overshadowed by the show's ongoing love triangle is its hopeful, ardent belief that love does not have to be a person, but a passion. I'm starting to see why the niche audience there was pretty niche.
Just do it!
Welcome in, Deb. Appreciate the follow. Let's go ahead and jump into the next video. It is Ging. Actually, I think it is Ging Frex. Funny Moments, English dub, HunterxHunter. Go ahead and bring this up. Here we go.
Your father, Gene, is... Your dad?
It's a huge jerk! A huge jerk!
Really? Then just ditch the W. Starting now, your
Welcome
name
in,
is
Deb.
DWUN.
Appreciate it.
Okay, dude?
You did make it to a live stream. This is live.
So, can you make it so that using magnetic force will send Gon to me, while using a company will send him to Kite?
Yes, I suppose so. But why do you want me to do that?
If he uses magnetic force to see me on his own, I guess I'm willing to meet him. But if he's a wimp who needs to bring his friends along, forget it.
Oh my
Why is he a wimp if he brings his friends? I don't understand that.
Never mind that, just do it!
More people would just make you self-conscious, right?
Please just shut up and do what I asked.
I'm Leorio, exam term 287. I've got a question for Gene that I want answered.
That's him, Gon's dad.
Why haven't you gone to visit Gon yet? You've got to know what condition he's in, don't you?
Right.
right. Let's all settle down so we can hear the answer.
To begin with, who are you to go?
His friend.
Oh, I appreciate that. I hope you'll stay friends with him. That's all. So,
You didn't answer my question! Just visit him! Go before it's too late, damn it!
well, from all the stories I've heard, he has quite a few friends like you. And what I'm saying is that that's enough.
This is not the time to mess around! Don't you care? Do you even have any idea how much Goats wanted to see you? If you would just go and talk to him, who knows? Maybe that might help him start to recover!
Did he say he wanted me to come? Did he tell you that? He said those words.
Like he's in any condition to?
Oh, I totally skipped over the video. I was meaning to-
Bastard!
Oh my gosh. It's alright. What's up, Stylin? I did, let's see. I've done Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I've done, One Tree Hill. So far.
Die, you asshole!
I don't think anyone saw that coming. If you want to see it again, you'll find footage of today's meeting on the Hunter website. So tell everyone who wasn't here and let them know they can watch it whenever they want.
This is bad. But I guess I always knew this was gonna happen. Hey.
Gene! I'm sorry! It was all my fault. Because of me. I turned into a little girl!
But the last I heard, he'd been captured by the enemy.
Yeah, I was with him when it happened. Then he told me to run away and Pito showed up. After that, Kite lost his arm. I was knocked out and then we started training. She was able to get Kite out of the ant's nest, but it wasn't really him anymore. It wasn't Kite at all. And what they did to him, it was horrible. And then later on, I ran into Pito again, who told me that guy was already dead!
Okay, I get it. Okay, maybe I don't get it, but sit down. Come on. Thing is, let's just calm down. We both ought to, so just try to relax.
It was because I insisted on having my way.
Anyway, just calm down first. We can talk this over.
Gene? Can we talk more later on? If you can.
Yeah, that might be kind of tough. I'm a pretty busy guy, you know.
We're messing around,
This Jin guy's coming off like kind of a jerk, not gonna lie. Wasn't the entire reason Gon set out on that journey was to find Jing? And then he acts like that? Like, come on now.
You're the worst, Gene! You should apologize to Glost! Promise him you'll be more like a father from now on! You don't even have the right to be his father!
What the hell? Why don't you go screw yourselves?
You should let Leorio punch you again!
Fine, shut up. You made your point. I'll wait right here. Go!
You think we're stupid? Take him there yourself! We're his dad, right?
Hey, I've heard enough! You want to fight? If you got a problem, then why don't you bring it on? What? You're all my enemies now? Okay, that's fine by me!
Gene! I'm gonna go now!
Right.
That all you have to say, idiot?
You could at least say see you later. Don't you have any decency?
Ah! Jace lost it! Quick! Somebody stop this negligent jerk of a father!
Negligent jerk of a father. I'm dead. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw out some much-deserved love. Good grief. Yeah, that was not the reaction that I was expecting from Jing after Gon had set out to find him and, you know, see if he was alive, dead, whatever, you know, just completely absent from his childhood. And that's the reaction? That's the reception? Oh my gosh. Oh no. I was hoping for, you know, a nice little redemption moment there of, you know, oh, you know, I took on the world to protect you and, you know, all that stuff. No, that is not what we got. What we got was, oh yeah, cool. All right, well, I'm not going to be here, so I guess we'll see you later. What? Jing, I'm enjoying the journey. So if your destination is the same as mine, enjoy the side trips a lot. Something more important than the thing you're hunting could be right there by the side of the road. Good grief. Father of Gon, double star ruins hunter. We can apply a triple star license in the former Zodiac, the codename Boar. Finding Jing was Gon's motivation for becoming a hunter. And it was very disappointing. Thanks for joining the Discord, Deb. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of great Zinunu fans in there. It will make you feel right at home. Jing has a shy and stubborn personality. Well, we just saw a bit of the stubborn, to the point that he only wants Gon to meet him alone and claims that it would be cowardly of Gon to bring a friend to meet him, causing one of his friends to wonder if he was afraid of crowds. Based on his actions at the election to ensure that Nateros is carried out, he seems to respect the late chairman considerably. Jing is also rather volatile, yet extremely intelligent. In spite of his ability to make flawless plans years in advance, he occasionally acts without knowing why, surprising even himself. According to his friends, Jing has a childlike enthusiasm going on about a game he created. He's somewhat dismissive, having changed Duan's name without his consent and refusing to offer an explanation to Elena. Nonetheless, his charm would draw more colleagues later in his life. Due to his carefree and eccentric nature, most people often refer to Jing as being a bad father to Gon. I might have done that immediately off the rip. This might be due to his apparent lack of care when Gon was dying and never visiting him in the hospital. His indifference to his son's state caused the hunters during the election to insult and chastise him, as we saw. Despite all this, Jing cares greatly for Gon in his own way. What does that mean? In his own way? He sent Gon through onerous tasks to strengthen himself rather than using parental guidance. However, at the same time, it is also implied that Jing cannot handle the responsibility as a hands-on father to his son. Yes, he is not able to be a father. Which is probably why he felt pretty comfortable in just abandoning him, basically. Boy, that was quite the letdown. I was expecting this like massive reunion of, you know, wow, you made it here all by yourself. That's amazing. Look at how strong you've become. Now I'm going to be a great dad. No, it's not what we got. Just from that. Ay, ay, ay. That is not. Good grief. How powerful is Jing? What are his powers? He's a Zodiac member. Handpicked sparring partners who are said to have power close to the chairman. Personally believe he's stronger than the older Netero. Is the main character dad? As weird of a reason this is, most cases show that the main character's dad tends to be very overpowered, and the hype built on Jing makes it seem like he's a very strong dude. Judging based on the chapter, he was just having fun with his copycat ability. He is able to copy abilities just by looking at them. This is not his main ability, in my opinion, but it's something. He tamed a dragon as we see in the beginning of the series, and he's hiding it. So he's definitely powerful. Yeah, I would assume so. Probably why they flipped the script on viewers. Yeah, that is a good way to flip the script. But to be honest, I really don't know. But if I were to want him to have any ability, I think it would be something that would suit a hunter. I was thinking something like being able to use abilities of beasts he's captured. Be kind of interesting. Suspect Jing is a really powerful Nen user, but he is definitely not some god. Besides, I suspect the fact his Nen ability is like him, i.e. unpredictable, intelligent, and very extensive. I don't think he's stronger than Netero, but rather on the same level as beyond Netero. His Nen ability is a real mystery. He has shown transmutation and emission skills, so maybe an enhancer. He's in the top 5 human Nen users, so very powerful, and the only character we see that's able to replicate abilities like that. Is he stronger than old Netero? It's possible, but probably not. So we kind of go back and forth on these responses from Reddit users. We're fans, obviously. It's impossible to have another character as strong as Netero. This being said, I believe that he's at least stronger than Frollo. I believe they must be strong enough to low diff Ahsoka or Illumi, and mid diff Crollo Silver Zen. I have no idea what any of that word means. No idea. Dude, he tamed a giant dragon. He's known to be top 5 Nen users in the world, not to mention his ancestor. Don survived in the Dark Continent for 300 years. He has to be stronger than Netero. Literally, the whole series has been hyping up Jing, and I know this isn't really a good comparison, but the fact that adult Gon is supposedly equal to Miriam in strength, you can kind of gauge how powerful Jing is. He's the main character's father, dude. Personally, I like how ambiguous it is. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You know, you kind of expect the main character's father to be somewhat powerful or really powerful. The fact that he's been alive, just kind of on his own, leads you to believe he's somewhat powerful. I agree with this person. I do like the fact that it's kind of more interesting to make it ambiguous because you're never sure. It's something for viewers or readers to talk about. For all we know, his power level could be similar to Ahsoka or Trollo, or he might be able to crush Miriam in less than a second or anywhere in between. It's a real mystery and love not knowing. See, there's a little bit of mystery there, and there's not always a bad thing to have a little mystery. I kind of like that. I like this one the best, honestly. You never quite sure, you know? You never know what he's got up his sleeve, kind of thing. That's kind of cool. I like that better for the character. 10 things you didn't know about Jing. For anime-only HunterxHunter fans, Jing is a mysterious deadbeat father. Okay, so I was kind of on the mark on that one. That encourages his son to put his life on the line. While that description is 100% accurate, manga readers have been gifted a more extensive understanding of his dad. Manga and their anime counterparts have a book versus movie adaptation relationship, where viewers that didn't explore the source material are left in the dark about countless details. That's interesting. He didn't ditch Gon after the final episode. Jing's parenting skills are ... controversial, to say the least. Therefore, we can't blame you for assuming he would ditch his son again after the events of the election arc. It's kind of the Don Franks link. It's rather obvious that the legendary Don is related to Gon and Jing in some form. 300 years prior to the current storyline, Don traveled back to the Dark Continent and authored a traveler's journal composed of 2 volumes, East and West. While the east half of the journal has been discovered, the west portion is yet to be located. Jing explained that the missing portion either wasn't written, hasn't been found, or that Don is alive Still working on it. That's interesting. He speaks multiple languages. Several languages. Copied Leorio's remote punch. Might not be the most accomplished fighter in the series, but his burst of passion during the 13th Hunter Chairman election arc inspired one of Jing's abilities. After getting punched in the face by the medical student, Rex recreated the move for his own use. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. If you got beat by something, you might as well try to emulate it. Jing punches the nearby surface and a wormhole of sorts will open up near the target from which the fist materializes. Dang. Strength and speed may vary. He's not Tagashi's first video game enthusiast. Tagashi tends to revisit his original concepts and character models, albeit providing unique aspects for each incarnation. One of Tagashi's earlier works, Tanda Birthday Present, revolved around a different character with similar abilities. It's a recurring theme in his projects, and Jing is the most recent of the bunch. Perk of his ultrasound move. By tapping an object and tapping on his hand, Jing can release his aura in pulsating waves to detect other organisms. As the name implies, the ability functions like an ultrasound machine, which sends out a high-frequency sound wave that reflects off body structures to produce images of the inner body. Interesting. How does phasing bullets work? By placing his hands on a surface, he can fire bullets of aura that travel through the object he's touching without destroying it. They simply pass through and hit anything that's on the other side. That's kind of neat. Full potential of phasing bullets has yet to be uncovered, but Jing insinuated that he hadn't used it at full power. Nifty skill. Continues to clash with Ariston Hill long after the events of the anime. Ariston Hill was always an unnerving character. The poised facade that he exudes makes him incredibly unlikable. Ouch. Behind that breezy smile lies a sly, unpredictable, and calculated personality. Jing was noticeably his most prominent rival in the 2011 anime adaptation, but the conflict didn't end there. They crossed paths in the Dark Continent arc. The animosity is still very much present. Somehow understood his son despite not raising him. Some of the best conversations and jokes stem from Jing's terrible parenting skills. He quite literally abandoned his only son and then made the young boy jump through deadly hurdles in order to reunite. In the midst of the discourse, fans failed to notice that Jing actually knew Gon really well for someone who never spent time with him. Jing foresaw almost every decision Gon would make on his journey, including taking the Hunter exam in the first place. He also predicted how the Reed Island arc would develop and knew that Gon would find Kite. His Zodiac code name is more telling than you'd imagine. Number 1. Jing was one of the hunters that Netero handpicked to execute the election for a new chairman after his death. This group was referred to as the Zodiacs, and they all had code names that correlated with signs on the Chinese zodiac. Jing was known as the boar, and it's more symbolic than you'd think. According to various myths and legends, the pig would show up late for meetings or come in last during a race because he would get hungry, stop to eat, subsequently fall asleep. During the election arc, it's mentioned that Jing never actually shows up for the meetings. He's stubborn, dismissive, and moves at his own pace, much like the pig he's associated with. Ouch. Ouch. Good grief. Well, I wasn't expecting the whole deadbeat dad arc, but that was interesting. Good grief. All right, let's hop into this next video. It is Ted Lasso, my favorite Ted Lasso TikToks, in parentheses, but it's 99.9% gay. Go ahead and jump in. Oh, switch this. Hold on. Here we go. All right. I don't know how much of the screen this is going to take up, so we'll have to kind of readjust it here, but I think it'll be all right.
I promise you, there is something worse out there than being sad, and that is being alone and being sad. Ain't nobody in this room alone.
That is a good point.
You know, I think that you care about someone. If you got a little love in your heart, there ain't nothing you can't get through.
All I want is for when we win a match to be able to kiss my feather the same way that guys get to kiss their girls.
Just close your eyes.
No, you can't have him. He's mine.
I haven't said anything to anyone. I must have a good reason for that, mustn't I?
Right. And your daughter?
She's never been happier.
You know, I had a poster of you on my wall when I was a kid. I used to love watching you play.
See, my ex-husband truly loved only one thing his entire life. This club. And Ted Lasso is going to help me burn it to the ground. I want to torture Rupert. I'm the owner now, and I don't like you.
She don't start shit, but she can tell you how it ends.
But I will make your life just that little bit
Get
worse.
sad, get even.
Oh, okay.
On the weekends.
It's all going rather
She don't
smashy.
dress for friends.
Appreciate the heads up.
She's been dressing for revenge.
Maybe fails miserably.
The Premier League with Arsenal heading on the road to Newcastle, where 17-year-old Matthew Kerr will make his debut. They're calling him the Irish Ronaldo. Roy, what do you think he'll do today?
I don't know. He's 17 years old. He's fucking wrecked me.
That is a lot of pressure to put on somebody
All I want
that young.
is for when we win a match to be able to kiss my feather the same way that guys get to kiss their girls.
True that I saw her hair like the branch of a tree. Willow dancing on air before covering me. Under cotton and calicos. Over canopy dapple long ago.
Life, it's hard. It's real hard.
Good to know. At first, I was like, what am I getting at there?
Somebody catch my breath.
I'm crazy.
I'm a goner. Somebody catch my breath. I
Want to make an
wanna be
appointment?
known by you. I wanna be known
a hug.
by you.
Mm. Good grief.
Blue, green, red.
Kind of seemed like it from what I've seen. Just Ted Lasso's interaction with the players. And Roy Kent's kind of relationship with mentoring the younger players too. Yeah, I think I reacted to a Jamie video. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I completely forgot about this. Those Ted Lasso edits were beautiful. I just remember thinking like, wow, these are so well put together that this show must be great. Considering you're able to put these unbelievable edits together of it. Just the discussion, the dialogue, just seemed perfect.
The welcome wagon has arrived.
I won't rest till I top my personal best.
'Cause when the lights go out, he keeps America online. He's Mr. Finish Line, Finish Line, Finish Line, Finish Line.
I definitely enjoy Jason Sudeikis as an actor. His Hall Pass movie with Owen Wilson was unbelievably funny. Albeit a little crude, it was still pretty funny.
I've been going through something. 1,855 days. I've been going through something. Be afraid.
Oh my gosh. This is the only thing I've seen Jason in. It's pretty good. Very funny, obviously. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen. Obviously Hall Pass, but there's been other stuff. Just can't remember off the top of my head. Let's do a quick Google.
Is this a fucking joke?
He was in Horrible Bosses, We're the Millers. Oh, We're the Millers. How did I forget that? Sleeping with Other People is a pretty good one. Obviously, Horrible Bosses too.
I think I'm feeling it now, just like you did. Taking this for you, 'cause I wanna feel like I'm supposed to.
What about this bell right here? Trent Crim.
Hair go long like Chia, money go long like Nia. I am the big idea. My twins big like Tia. My twins big like Tia Tamara. Why Tia Tamara? Why Tia Tamara? Why Tia Tamara? Hair go long like Chia.
Hence the title of it.
And I love your shoes. Oh yeah, thanks. Pay forward.
I was just seeing if you were okay, man.
Fucking
doing? I was going to hug you.
You came at me too fast.
Jesus, sorry. Thought how skittish elderly people could be because of the war. You never heard of Tina Turner, fucking Stevie Nicks?
You came at me too fast.
I found out that George Harrison died. I realised I had to stop waiting for it to begin.
But George Harrison died 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I only just found out.
It's amazing.
So when we win a match, to be able to kiss my feather, the same way that guys get to kiss their girls.
10 minutes later, that's gonna be our under, right?
What's wrong with you?
I'll tell you what's wrong. The world is full of evil people who do things, but I can't deal with that right now because I have to go and kick a little ball around. What those same people love me for? That is until I f*** up, or I miss a penalty, or I decide to fight back, and then they just don't want to ship me back where it came from.
Samuel. It's okay.
Whoa.
Once you make it to the top of the mountain, what's left for you?
Sam's restaurant was broken into because of a post he made? Oh, jeez.
You just have someone that makes you feel like you've been struck by fucking lightning. Don't you dare settle for 5.
Is the lightning a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends whether you're ready for it or not.
I've waited 100.
Boy, isn't that life? Could be good or bad. You just have to, find out if you're ready for it. Capable of dealing with it.
To the gays and the boys and the trans and the girls and the big bald men. You better not assume my pronouns. You ain't got a clue what I feel inside.
But until then, welcome Trent.
Woo! I mean, fuck off, Trent Cream. I am so happy we were the same size. Roast me, amigo. I like to give away joy for free. Football is life.
Woo! Thank you, Danny.
You tell her to piss off? No, she was a nun. Doctor told me not to drink.
They hydrated. I swear I didn't know that was happening. What the heck? That timing was crazy.
Asshole, Rick. Lumbercash, did you make this?
Yeah, man, knitting soothes me.
Don't turn your back on me, you pussy.
Oh, this was crazy.
Okay, you can have that one for free. And I got to go big time. Hey, next time, Jamie, don't you forget where you came from. Watch the door.
Interesting.
What was those same people love me for? Either until I fuck up, or I miss a penalty.
My dad used to pinch my hand up.
To be fair, I would miss probably 100 out of 100 penalties.
Some traction if there was some young footballers on there.
What's the name again?
Banter. B-A-N-T-R.
Oh, like Grindr. Fuck yourself. Yeah, mass, no need. Ain't no barbers in Manchester.
Pack up your car, put a hand in your heart, say whatever you feel, be wherever you are. We ain't angry at your love. You're the greatest thing we've lost. Birds still sing, folks still fight, the boards still creak, the leaves still die. We ain't angry at your love. We'll be waiting for your love.
Mississippi boys and the city boys. I like the pretty boys with the bow tie. Get your nails did, let it blow dry. I like a big beard, I like a clean face. I don't discriminate, come and get a taste. From the playboys to the gay boys. Go and slay boys, you my fave boys.
I love you guys so very much.
On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Family unity along the way. Ain't nobody in this room love.
Such a good song. Came out when I was in high school. It's fantastic. I haven't heard that in a minute.
You got that dream, daydream, look in your eye, and I got that red lip classic thing that you like, and when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go.
I better say something.
Hey, lads. Remember, it's just pooper. Let it flow.
Hi, just like in the sewer.
Bingo, El Ringo.
Clever, really. Again tomorrow, Jennifer. I hate dress shoes so much, Jenny.
Agreed.
I know, muchacho.
Hate dress shoes. They're uncomfortable. They're awful. There's no time to wear them, so you can't really like break them in very well.
I'm talking about practice, and you can't do it because you're hurt, right?
It feels like you don't care.
I'd be there waiting. So every time a boy made you cry, you could come back home and just smile.
He fucks me like he hates my gut. He hit the spot to make me squirt and let me paint his nut. He pay me right then, right there when he busts. I'm a fake bitch, so I'm paying him Dutch. I do it for the girls and the gays that fucking around here. You playing what up? Can I get a hell? Get down to business. I don't got no time to play around with this. Must be a circus in town. We shut the shit down. And I get a witness.
So there are probably more people in this room who were gay.
I'm flattered.
Love that.
Like it's a war borealis.
I'm a strong and capable man. The best way being the entire team gets to say they're gay too, and we get to be on the cover of Oprah's magazine.
You're not lost.
Manchester City win. And AFC Richmond's time in the Premier League is over. Jamie's on. Orban clinches the win for Richmond with a spectacular solo goal.
Quite the redemption.
You're just not sure which direction you're going in. Yet.
I am not.
Never underestimate the power of a good mother.
One for the money, two for the show.
One for the money, two for the show. One for the money, two for the show.
One for the money, two for the hoes, three.
One for the money, two for the hose.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy.
Well, I hope our paths cross again soon.
As do I, Ted. I love our chats.
Now, you hungry? Listen, congrats. You both just met a cool person. What do you love?
Congrats, you both just met a cool
I like
person.
Thank you.
Trent Green, independent.
Yeah.
The keys to my Lamborghini.
How are you getting home?
I just wanted you to know that baby, you're the best. You can look sometimes like the stars with the sun and the morning sunlight. When the sun is always sometimes, even if you're gone,
Hello, Coach Ted Lasso from America. Hello, Trent Cream from the Independent. Hey, excited to spend the day with you. It's gonna be fun. Please, call me Ted. What do you want?
Oh, you're it. Thank you.
Trent Cream, are you kidding me?
Oh, snap. I didn't say anything, I promise. No, I know, Ted. I did.
Gonna blow your mind like, come on, get moving, on. I don't know how to ride a bike. Fuck on, guys! All right, wait for me.
On crap like envy or fear, shame. I don't want to mess around with that shit anymore. Oh, you know what I want to mess around with? The belief that I matter. You know? Regardless of what I do or don't achieve. Or the belief that we all deserve to be loved. Whether we've been hurt, or maybe we've hurt somebody else. Or what about the belief of hope? Yeah, that's what I want to mess with. Believing that things can get better, that I can get better, that we will get better. Believe in yourself, believe in one another. Man, that's fundamental to being alive. And look, yo, hey, if you can do that, if each of you can truly do that, can't nobody rip that apart.
Amazing. That is definitely an aspect of coaching. It definitely helps you, definitely helps the writers come up with those big monologue moments. Lots of high impact. It's like perfect. Every sports movie or show has those moments.
What's going on? What's going on?
Wonderful.
Wait, what? No. Are you kidding me? Is this how it ends? What? No. This is how it ends? Are you...
I know folks like to say, there's no place like home. That's true.
Man, there ain't a whole lot of places like AFC Richmond.
Oh, okay. So the finale had that, like a montage.
I love you guys so very much.
Everyone's future or whatever. Dang. Back where he started, where he was miserable. Oh gosh, that's not good.
Right now, all I want
Good
to
point.
do is let you gentlemen know what an absolute honor is getting to be your coach. I'm just so gosh dang proud to be a part of this team.
Wow. Absolutely wow. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. There we go. I got lost halfway through that sentence. Original edit. I must be a little sick. Original edit. Go throw it some love. Check out the channel. Maybe they have other edits that you enjoy. It's a toss-up as to if it's true future or future Ted wants for that. Oh, okay. It's shown after Ted falls asleep on the plane. Oh, gosh. So is it or isn't it? That's the question. Oh, boy. So it's very much like, was it Lost? That ended on like a series finale that was very, people were just like, what the hell was that? I guess, you know, Sopranos ended fading to black or whatever, but everyone kind of figured it out. And eventually the writer let it slip, or purposely let it slip, that, yeah, Tony dies. That's the ending. That's why it fades to black. So it's kind of up in the air, I suppose. That's interesting. How many seasons did this get? That's the question I have. Is it 3 seasons? 3? Dang, that's not enough. How does this show get 3 seasons and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend gets 4? How is that possible? How is that possible? That is just a crime. A crime against humanity. First season of 10 episodes premiered on Apple TV Plus in 2020. The 3 episodes followed by weekly installments. That's kind of interesting. They kind of put out the first 3, kind of get people hooked on it, maybe. Jason only had a story for 3. I mean, yeah, I guess you could do what, other seasons? Or other, you know, football seasons, I guess? I don't know. Maybe try to show him trying to find his way back where he's started. Try to make a happier life for himself, maybe. Cast say they were begging for more. They got together any excuse they could manage. I bet they did. Show follows Ted Lasso, American college football coach who was hired to coach an English football team, whose owner secretly hopes his inexperience will lead to its failure, but whose folksy, optimistic leadership proves unexpectedly successful. So I guess that kind of has a built-in end game to it. Honestly, pretty much does. That's too bad. You know what? It makes me think they came up with this show as kind of a way to launch Apple TV Plus. And they didn't really see it going that long. And just a couple seasons, maybe, they had them on contract to do. Because I think Apple TV Plus, when did that start? To 2019. Oh, okay. Here we go. Apple TV Plus launched in 2019. This was definitely one of those shows where they wanted something to launch it. That kind of makes sense, honestly. Just Jason Sudeikis is a big name. Certainly seemed like a really well-written show. Series received critical acclaim, praise for its performances, humor, writing, themes, and uplifting tone. First season was nominated for 20 Primetime Emmy Awards, becoming the most nominated first season comedy in Emmy history. Good grief. Apple TV, then COVID, that's how it took off, I think. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Certainly if you're Apple and you're trying to launch a new service, Apple TV Plus, you're going to want to come with a couple different shows to launch it with. Because I think I remember them launching, because I usually watch the Apple broadcast events. And I remember Apple TV Plus being announced. And I think they announced a couple shows, and I think Ted Lasso was one of them. But it was like coming in 2021 or 2020 or whatever. So it was not like immediately going to be on the service, but they launched a bunch of different shows on it. Which makes sense. In order to get people to sign up, you need content. You need shows. People who played Roy and Coach Beard were writers as well as Jason, I believe. That's awesome. Bill Lawrence, I've heard that name before. Cougar Town, Ground Floor, Ted Lasso, Shrinking, Spin City. Oh my gosh. Co-creator of Scrubs. Oh, that's where I've seen that name so many times. I've watched through Scrubs like twice. But yeah, I love Spin City too. That was oh gosh. That was Michael J. Fox in the early 2000s, I want to say. That was a great show. I enjoyed it. A little funny sitcom. Dang, only 34 episodes. But I will say this, 34 episodes, but it seems like they hit. Every one of those episodes was probably pretty great. Yeah, what a fascinating show. All the edits, literally every edit I've seen of that show has been amazing. Not certainly including that one. That was great. 2 were fillers and they were kind of hit or miss. Yeah. I couldn't imagine anyone else as the iconic Roy. When writing the character Roy, Brett Goldstein decided no one knew the character like he did, so he bit the bullet in audition. That's funny. What made Ted Lasso an insanely good show? Since its release on Apple TV, Ted Lasso has made a lot of noise, positive at that, because of how insanely good it was. To be honest, I wasn't really enticed to watch the show because I'm not a fan of soccer/football, and I never considered subscribing to Apple TV Plus. Then I recently purchased a new MacBook, which came with 3 free months of Apple TV Plus, so I figured, why not give it a try? Since it is one of the most talked about Apple TV shows, I did, and boy, I was regretting that I didn't watch it earlier. All right, well, what makes it a great show? Number 1, authenticity. The one factor that hooked me in the first place was the show's authenticity. Very realistic in terms of the life of a newcomer in a city with an entirely different culture and lifestyle. From Ted Lasso's initial struggles to understand British culture and soccer terminologies to the team's skepticism and resistance towards him, everything felt genuine. Characters were not portrayed as perfect, but rather as flawed and complex human beings, which made them relatable and endearing. Optimism. Optimism can be toxic during certain situations. That's the one thing that makes sports kind of beautiful, is the fact that literally almost every sports movie, show, whatever, has that absolute Cinderella story to it. Lots of optimism. We can do it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Whatever, that old saying. But very much like a drive. Lots of optimism, lots of happiness, lots of, coming back from defeat to win. That is just a beautiful message regardless. The one movie that kind of sticks to my mind when I think of sports is Rudy. Undersized guy, dreams of playing football at Notre Dame, starts plays in high school, gets pushed around because he's tiny, walks on to Notre Dame, basically a battering ram for the first string, and then he eventually gets into a game, and it's such a big moment, and it actually happened, which is just crazy. Sean Astin was a good choice to play him. Indeed. Yes. Great actor. Great movie. Gosh. Yeah, that one always gives me chills. Whenever he runs onto the field and people are just yelling his name, oh, God. I just get chills all over the place. It's amazing. It is so good. Optimism can be toxic during certain situations, but with Ted Lasso, his optimism to drive change and actually bring out the best in people, players or not, is something special. Not everyone can maintain the same level of optimism in the face of constant negativity and doubt, yet Ted Lasso does. With such genuine warmth and humor that it's infectious. It's not blind positivity, his optimism is grounded in reality, which I think made this show more special than it already is. Dry humor. Dry humor isn't for everyone because not many people get this humor. For me, I love dry humor. It's subtle, understated, often catches you off guard. Type of show that will take the stress off me after a long, tiring day at work. It's not just the what, but the how that makes it shine. There are a lot of clever word plays, witty banters, perfectly timed one-liners, especially from Roy Kent, and many more. Wasn't that British humor is usually kind of more dry or subtle from everything I've basically watched or seen or heard of? It's a very different style of humor, and I really enjoy it. That's why I enjoy watching British television. Skins is one of my all-time favorites. Certainly love... oh my gosh, why is the name escaping me right now? Oh, how am I not thinking of this? Not Penny Dreadful. Why is that name in my head? Gosh. Peaky Blinders. I like the Samuel L. Jackson, Coach Carter. That's a good one too. That is a great one too. Indeed. Character development. Loved how the characters, especially some of the most broken ones, have undergone a massive character development throughout the series. It's not the instant redemption, instant development type of thing. When you watch the series, you'll see the process of their struggles and how they overcome them to become a better person. You'll see this development. Jamie, Roy, Rebekah, and more. And you know what's more special? It's how the impact of Ted influenced the development of these people. Even though Ted seems naive and carefree, you will notice that the smallest gestures made by Ted make a big impact. Final thoughts, we have a lot to learn from Ted Lasso, and I'm really grateful to have witnessed such a great film in this lifetime. I mean, it's only 34 episodes. You might call it a mini-series in a way, but that's too bad. Honestly, it only got 34. That's so short. For such a show that literally everyone I've ever talked to about this show in real life has praised it. People that I know have praised the show. I've never heard anyone talk bad about this show. Whether it's you all or people that I've just met randomly or people that I've known for a long time, everyone that's seen it enjoys it. Just unbelievable. I've never seen that kind of response over anything other than like Game of Thrones, maybe. But even some people didn't like Game of Thrones just because of how in-depth it was and all that stuff. But did you know the rapper character Posh Kenneth and Daniel? Really? Oh. Wait a minute. Did I know that? I would have to, honestly, I'd have to look it up. I need to look that up. I have, but I'm pretty sure they're a sociopath. Yeah. It has been few and far between. Honestly, I have not met a single person that had anything negative to say about it, which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Not surprising they were nominated for 20 Emmys in their first season. But you know what? It kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. Apple needed a big swinging, swing for the fences. This is our brand new service. Please buy it. Please buy it. That's when Apple was very much in their, we're going to become more of a software company now. And it's just like, don't you rely on iPhone sales? Like, what? They're big football fans? Yeah, that makes sense. They didn't like the football. Like, it's a show. It's not going to be realistic. Oh, okay. I kind of get that. But also, I mean, yeah, it's a show. It's supposed to be entertaining. The main storyline there is the relationships and the people and whatnot. Football is there, obviously, but it's secondary. Very much like Rudy. I mean, football's in there, but it's not the main storyline. What did I just watch? Oh, I just watched Bull Durham, and I also just watched oh gosh. Why is that name escaping me? Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is one of the great movies. Oh my gosh. They're baseball movies, but is baseball like the authenticity of the baseball? Is that like the main driving force? No, definitely not. I played Roy every year. As he won an Emmy, he swore. And every year they told him not to, but people loved it because it's Roy Kent. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's go ahead and start the last video of the week. I literally forgot I had this AirPod in my ear, and I was like, is my ear swelling? What's happening? Is this a new symptom? Oh, I think the meds have gotten to me. All right. Last video of the week. Let's go ahead and jump in. It is from Interview with the Vampire. The Vampire Armand is the title. I definitely do. I definitely do. I would highly recommend seeing Field of Dreams. It's one of those things where, I don't know, I'd say the first time I watched it, I didn't quite get it. Like, it was a little slow. But boy, when that movie was over, I was so happy I watched it. Oh my gosh. It's one of those movies that kind of grows on you. It's a little slow. It's a little, slow to build. But boy, when it finishes, you're just like, whoa, that was a great movie. And I understand why people reference it. It's just one of those. You got to kind of like set yourself up for, all right, I'm going to give this the time. We're going to get through this. But yeah, it's definitely a great movie. I highly recommend Field of Dreams. All right. I got it. Let's go ahead and hit play. Actually, you know what? It looks like closed captioning's on. So let me readjust this real quick so we can actually see those. All right. I think that'll do it. And let's hit play.
Do you want to hear my story?
He looked like a boy.
Kia too.
Armand, masquerading as a gentleman.
Armand.
Whoa. Am I buffering right now? How? That's surprising.
Do you want to hear my story?
He looked like a boy.
Kia too. Armand, masquerading as a gentleman.
Armand. Je suis Armand. Armand. Do you want to hear my story?
Who are you?
My first memory. I'm being run down by slavers in Delhi. This is Amadeo. He was rescued from a brothel when he was 15. Who am I? Named Arun, then I think. I do not know anymore. If I'm not with him, I'm nothing. No one has painted me in over 400 years. Maître is a loving endearment. I want you. Are you asking, Maître?
You sure about that, Arun?
Yes, Maître.
Not the art, the apology.
You want an apology? I'm sorry. Mark it on the calendar. Align it with Ursa Major. Louise, triannual. Fuck off and find me with apologies to follow.
I'm sorry.
Meaningless word.
Oh, this is boring.
Boy.
You're boring.
The fascinating boy. Louis thinks I'm boring. He's fine. Do you find me boring? He's just fine.
The 10 hours I spent with that boy. More exciting, more fascinating. Decades with you.
Dang.
From you,
Oh my God.
Mr. Malloy. You're going to teach me how to be fascinating. Why did I owe you my shame?
Where does the bullshit start? Armand, Amadeo, Arun.
When did you start lying to me?
77 years based on a seismic lie.
Trop fragile.
Something fragile about this man.
I'd like you to meet the vampire Armand.
Ooh. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love and also check out their channel. Never know, they might have more edits that you might enjoy as well. So always make sure to mention that. Good grief. Yeah, that was traumatic. Made to believe he was that boring? Come on now. Oh my gosh. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. The cruel beauty of Armand in AMC's Interview with the Vampire. Saad Zaman gives an emotionally taut performance as one of Anne Rice's most enigmatic and tragic immortals. The characterization of him in the series is somewhat at odds with one another in the book, both Interview and his own point of view book that bears his name. The latter paints him in a rather melancholic and tragic light. You won't be surprised to find that way back in my high school days, I found Armand to be one of Rice's most compelling immortal creations. Also admit that this was largely because I saw a great deal of myself in his story, particularly in his jealousy of Lestat. Unlike the latter, who was always capable of spreading chaos wherever he went, to say nothing of making everyone fall in love with him, Armand seemed to always be relegated to the shadows, condemned to watch and desire his charismatic nemesis. Oof. Yeah, that would be awful. To see Lestat, who's obviously very charismatic, and everybody basically loves Lestat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be just torture. That being said, I do think Saad Zaman is closer to the character Anne Rice created than Antonio Banderas. No shame to the latter, of course. He's great Armand in the 94 film. That is definitely a very different kind of Armand. He's subtler and slyer, for one thing, but also far more haunted and tragic. He embodies so many of the contradictions that have always characterized Rice's vampiric creations, and he makes us pity him, even as we are also more than a little repulsed at the actions he takes towards those who he claims to love. Take, for example, the fateful moment in Paris when he takes Louis on a tour of the Louvre. As the two stand gazing at an exquisitely crafted Renaissance painting, he relates his own history, taken from India as a child by slavers, brought under the tutelage of Marius stolen from his maker and forced to become leader of a coven. This might not be exactly the same story as it was in the books. Book Armand was from the Kievan Rus rather than India. In many respects, it does match, and it's as full of tragedy and pain. You can see and feel Armand's remembered agony as he recounts the downfall of Marius at the hands of other vengeful vampires, just as you can also feel his anguish at the memory of the same Marius using him as a young prostitute. Given this background, is there any wonder that Armand becomes so desperate to find connection and that he gravitates so much to the vulnerable Louis? He sees in the younger immortal someone that he can take under his wing, someone who can perhaps give him the emotional and spiritual satisfaction that he also so desperately sought through the long and tedious centuries. And given that his own life has been marred by the actions of others, it makes sense that he would prove to be quite manipulative in his own right. Yeah, kind of a product of his environment. In this universe of immortal vampires, trauma is even more self-perpetuating than it is among mortals, echoing down the centuries. I read his book at 15, adored Armand. If I'm an angel, then paint me with black wings. Such teenage angst. It's like something out of a My Chemical Romance song. That is a lot of teen angst. Takes a pretty cold-hearted immortal to go to all the trouble of brainwashing both Louis and Daniel in order to hide the truth, what happened that fateful night in the 70s. What makes Armand such a great queer villain is the extent to which he seems to truly believe he's in the right when it comes to his actions with Louis. Say what you will about him, but he truly does seem to love the other man for all that he's frustrated with him. He can't quite wrap his head around why Louis would find humans so compelling and fascinating. All of which makes it that much more remarkable that he can't even do Louis the courtesy of telling him Lestat's message of love. One of the pettier things that he does, and while it's clear what his motivations are, he's hardly going to tell Louis the truth, considering the extent to which the latter remains beholden to him. In all senses of the word, it's still hard not to do a bit of a double take. He's a cold bastard. He's a cold bastard, is Armand, but he draws us in despite of that coldness. There is something to be said about being a cold bastard. Okay. That is a character that, works from time to time. We love these creatures and are enchanted by them, but we're never really allowed to forget that in their allure also lies their great danger. The longer they live, the less human they become, increasingly unbound to anything resembling quotidian human morality. Quotidian? I've never used that word before. Precisely what makes his relationship with Louis so fraught. For if there's one thing that you can say about Louis is that he's the one vampire in the entire Vampire Chronicles who retains the strongest ties to his mortality. In the end, there is something cruel yet beautiful about Assad Zaman's Armand. With his finely carved face and his glowing eyes, we understand why Louis finds him desirable, even as we recoil from the things of which he's so manifestly capable. As the series races towards its conclusion, I have no doubt we will see more examples of Armand's exquisite queer villainry. Assad unpacks the truth behind Armand's lies. I don't think that Armand is that mustache-twirling, conniving manipulator the actor tells. Quote, I think it's so true to many of us. I think we are quite changeable, actually. And what you've hit the nail on the head with that flip in episode 3 at the end is that I think that is the microcosm of the revelation that we find in the final episode. I don't think that Armand is that mustache-twirling, conniving manipulator. He is a manipulator for sure, absolutely. Not apologizing or excusing his actions. What he did is terrible. but he acted out of necessity and opportunity. If you think to that decision, he continued, Louis and Armand, after the fire, go to see Lestat, and he knows Lestat knows what happened. Lestat was there. I don't think Armand knew how this was all going to play out. I don't think he saw that end game. It's in that moment when Louis kisses him. Lestat chooses not to say that he was the one who saved Louis's life. Armand just goes with it. He's lost everything. Love of his life has, whether it's true or not, has chosen him. Whether it's for love or not, has chosen him, and he chooses to preserve his own existence with him and goes along with it. And that's where the lie sprouts into life, that we see them in Dubai. Han was once locked up and starved until in a frenzy there was a... Oh my gosh. He was a human teenager brother-like best friend and locked away to madness again. Good grief. Oh my gosh. Whoa. That is brutal. So yeah, it's tragic. He is despicable. Yeah, well, you condition someone like that. I mean, literally locked up, thrown a human, and then sent back. But I think it's very human. I think a lot of us, I think we've all kind of been there in these moments where it's just living that lie has in that moment. Just been easier than confronting the truth. So we go down that road, and then we face the consequences later. Series creator and showrunner Roland Jones similarly said the writer's room landed in a very empathetic place for the character. Well, yeah, going off Jace's story. Oh my gosh. Came from actually reading that embankment speech that's buried at the end of the book, when he just talks about how much he has thrown himself at Louis, and Louis just couldn't. We were kind of moved by that. So we landed on the idea that he had 2 cowardly moments in his life, that any lies after that were all covered up, were all to cover up those 2. But that we were actually really, really sincere efforts to try to make up for it, to be better than that, and that he had. He did it with every human sibling he'd live with. Oh my God. That doesn't excuse his crimes, just puts them in context. Yeah, I would say so. It's not an excuse, but certainly paints a picture as to why. I mean, wow. Jones also hopes the show runs long enough. Boy, that is the... Isn't that the crux of every show? Hoping that it runs long enough. In today's age where shows get canceled right and left. On a real ride with Armand's character. We have 7-8 years, hopefully, on this show. If it's all lucky, for contrition and for forgiveness everywhere. Yeah. Well, maybe. You just gotta get the numbers up. I think through word of mouth, the numbers will rise. Always interesting to me to see the famous Armand Lestat PC quote floating around, because I feel like a lot of the context gets lost in the sauce. We all know this line Armand delivers while Lestat, who according to himself doesn't bow down to God or the devil, is on his knees looking up at him. I have loved you more than any being in all the world whom I've ever loved. I have loved you more than Louis. I have loved you more than Marius. And you have never given me your love. Which is not entirely breaking news, like at all, but it's what Armand says afterwards as he's concluding his tirade that holds much more weight to me. Yes, even now I love you, as they all love you. Your minions seeking just a smile or a nod or a quick touch of your hand. I love you like all those throughout this palace who are dreaming of drinking just a drop of your blood. For all intents and purposes, he's basically telling Lestat there is nothing special about my love for you anymore. In allowing what you have allowed to happen here, you have successfully destroyed the love I had for you that set you apart from everyone else. Interesting. TLDR, I just think they're neat. I'm dead. BC Blood Canticle, one of the books. Oh, okay. I was a little lost reading that. I'm like, what? Character development. I'll be there tomorrow in Paris myself, I said. I'll see you then. I'll see it. Louis is going with you. There was a great deal more to the question than a casual listener might have supposed. Louis and Armand were the pillars of the New York household at Trinity Gate. Louis and Armand had been together for almost a century, long before that. Yes, I said. I'm taking him back with me as soon as we wake. I waited. Oh, the old entanglements. Entanglements. The old jealousies and defeats. But what creature in the world doesn't want to be loved for itself? Even a non-human thing that looked human might want to be loved. Do you need any assistance from me now? I asked Armand. This is all fascinating, of course, but there isn't time for me to come to you. I know that. I'm not letting you know for obvious reasons. Why do you behave as if I'm deliberately harassing you? Are you the prince, Lestat, or not? Of course, yes. You did the right thing. I'm sorry. I saw Louis's faint smile. I'll see you tomorrow in the City of Light, said Armand, a beat. And I'm happy for you that you're with Louis. I sighed. I wanted to say we all love one another. We all have to love one another. If you and I and Louis don't love one another after all we've been through, well, then all our powers mean nothing, and our dreams mean nothing. And so we have to love one another. And maybe I did say this silently and he heard it, but I doubted it. I know, I said. I'm eager to see you too. Wow. That was a beautiful excerpt. Dang. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, that was good. That was really good. Good grief. All right, everybody. I am going to go lay down, get some rest, try to not be ill. I can feel my throat getting sore as I talk, which is not great, but I am here. Rest, fluids, and meds. Indeed, I will do all three of those in copious amounts. Hopefully it's a nice quiet weekend, you know. But I appreciate everyone hanging out, watching. Whether you're watching live on Twitch, go ahead and hit the follow button. I appreciate it. If you're watching later on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. It is totally free, and it's a wonderful way to support creators. I don't know. It's kind of a nice little thing. Feather in your bonnet, or whatever that saying is. Does that apply? I'm not exactly sure. The meds of talking. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Join the Discord. I will see you there this weekend. We're up to, I think, 129 now that Deb's joined. 129, I assume, which is amazing. We're going places. Join the conversation. It's a fun and welcoming environment. Lots of great people there. It's amazing. Thank you, Jace. I appreciate it. Thanks for the links, Jace and Luke. I appreciate it. Boy, my mind is not working at this point. Jason, Luke, I appreciate it as always. They are world class indeed. Check out the merch. Summer collection of merch is available right now. And yeah, I think. Oh, if you'd like to request your own videos, you like what you see here, go ahead and join toddreacts.com. Season and series tiers will do that. And I shall see you all on Monday, hopefully feeling a lot better and, not as cloud-headed as I am right now. I don't even know what to call it. The brain's not working very well right now, but this was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I shall see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Go out. Enjoy the sun. Or I cannot. But go out. Enjoy the sun. Do something fun. And I shall see you all next week. Take care. Bye-bye.